This next activity is going to make use of operators to basically compare data and apply certain rules to data. And based on different data, it's going to give different outcomes in what the actual program does. So we're going to be using two types of operators in this program. We're going to be using logical operators to stack conditions and apply multiple conditions to checking data that's entered into the system. And we're also going to use a relational operator, which is going to compare data to each other, and in this case, compare different values to each other to see if they satisfy a criteria. Now, what I've set up here is actually an emulation of some sort of movie rental system. Okay, and essentially what happens is someone rents a movie, they write in its name, and then they enter its rating using a combo box. And I'm going to show you as well in this program how to actually add items to a combo box. They write in their name and they put in their age. And based on their age, it gets compared to the rating, and that's why I've colored the actual labels for these two different areas of my program. If their age does not meet the actual rating that they're trying to rent for the movie, a different message is going to be displayed. So if they are allowed to rent the actual movie based on the rating, it will say, yes, okay, you can rent this movie. But if they are too young to rent the movie, it's going to have a warning saying, no, you cannot rent this movie here. Okay, so we'll start developing this program. Now, the only thing that I haven't done design-wise is put the items in this combo box because we haven't used a combo box before. So I'm going to click on this combo box, and this works the same way for a list box as well. There's this area here called items, and this is where I can actually enter what items I want to appear in my combo box. So I'm going to click here, and then I click on the three dots over here, and I get this drop down menu. So I'm going to put in all the ratings, and these ratings are based on Australian ratings. So with Australian ratings, movies can be rated G, PG, M, MA 15 plus, and R 18 plus. Okay, so that's the Australian standard of ratings there. So I'm going to go OK, and I'll show you a quick preview of the combo box working after I've done that. So once I click here, and you can see all those different ratings now appear underneath my combo box. Okay, so that's the advantage there. By also using this combo box too, instead of relying on user input in which they could type in these values in different ways where they might put some uppercase and lowercase or leave out the 15 or 18 plus, it gives me specific data entries that a user can put in, okay, typed a specific way, and that I can give the program as expected input, which I know will be correctly entered because I've entered it basically and the user is simply selecting from a menu. Okay, so I have 5 specific options here that I can address in my program. So it's very advantageous using combo boxes and list boxes. So I'm going to close this now. I'll stop my program. Okay, we'll get rid of our output down here. And basically now I'm going to code this program. And once again, all the code's going to go into my button down here. Okay, and I will let you know, just going into this, the names that I've given the objects on my screen. My combo box is called CMB rating because it's a combo box, CMB rating, and that's what's entered into it. The age text box is the only text box that has an important name, okay, and it is called TXT age, okay, and then my button is called BTN search because essentially it's or emulating, in the case of this basic program, a search for a movie and checking the rating against the user's age. Okay, so BTN search. So I'm going to double click on my button now, and let's enter in the code that's going to go in. Now, first thing I need to do is declare my variables for this program. So we're going to dim the rating as a string, okay, because obviously it's all characters, okay, it's either G, PG, MA15 plus, or M or R18 plus. So even though that some of them are a combination of letters and characters and numbers, okay, we have to they're still all characters. They're not going to be used for mathematic operations, so it just needs to be recognized by the program as symbols. But what we do need to do is dim age as an integer, because integer is recognized as a number. okay, and it's going to be compared with our relational operator as a value, okay, in based on its age recommendations for this movie viewing, okay, and you'll see that in action in the program. Okay, so I've declared two variables here. Okay, I've now got to do assignment statements for where these variables are going to be obtained from. So, firstly is rating. Okay, and rating is going to be obtained from our combo box. So it's going to be CMB, okay, rating dot text. Okay, so one of those options that the user picks is going to be rating, okay, from the combo box. Next is the age, okay, and the age is going to be obtained from the text box txt age. So age equals txt age dot text. Okay, and that's where the age is going to be obtained from. What we're now going to do is the complicated part, and we're actually going to use an if statement, and if statements are used for conditional logic. Okay, and the if statement is going to outline all the possible outcomes that can come when this button is pressed. Okay, so when they actually select the rating and they enter their age, what are the possible outcomes that can occur? And basically, if the person is under 15, okay, they won't be allowed to borrow M or MA movies, and if they're under 18, they won't be allowed to borrow R-rated movies. So that's the message we need to get across. So I'm going to start off my if statement for my conditional logic. So if rating equals, okay, and we're going to put in quotation marks because it's text, and it's a capital M, and, okay, and is my first logical operator. So if the rating equals M and age is less than 15, okay, that's one, okay, outcome here we're expecting. And I'm also going to use another relational operator here as well, or rating equals, once again in quotation marks, MA 15 plus, and age is less than 15, or, okay, so now we've got two scenarios that can possibly occur. The rating can be either M or MA 15 plus. Okay, if they're under 15 for both of them, we're going to have a certain outcome. And we've got one final scenario to go. And once again, I'll go rating equals, okay, R 18 plus, and age is less than, once again, the relational operator less than 18, and then I go then, and this basically states what the outcome will be. So I've got three scenarios here. Okay, all three scenarios, okay, have two conditions to them. Okay, so basically we're saying if the age is 15, okay, and the rating is M or MA, or if the age is 18, okay, and the actual rating is 18 plus, okay, we're going to get a certain outcome. Okay, so the then statement says what happens if any of these occur. So we're going to do it with a message box, and it's going to go message box dot show. Okay, and then we open our brackets, open our quotation marks. You are too young to rent this movie. Okay. Now, that's the scenario if any of these conditions that I've outlined are true. Okay. I'm also going to use an else statement. Okay, so if none of these scenarios are true, what's going to happen? And basically this means that people are old enough to rent this movie. Okay, so else message box dot show, and then in brackets, quotation marks, movie rented. Okay, because basically it means that the customer is the right age to watch the movie based on its rating. Okay, I then have to end the if statement, and that's already put in for me by VB. Okay, so basically my program is ready to go now. So let's give this a try. So we'll go play. Okay, here's my movie rental system. I'm going to enter in the name of a movie. So let's go Fast and the Furious. Okay, its rating might be MA, 15 plus, customer name, Mr. K. Okay, and for the sake of borrowing the movie, I'm going to say that I'm 13. Okay, I'm going to go rent movie. Okay, you are too young to rent this movie. Okay, good. So the program is working. It's giving me the message I'm expecting to see. But I do want to test all outcomes. So I'm going to go OK. I'm going to change my age here to 33. Let's go rent movie. Movie rented. So excellent. Okay, my program's working. When my age was too young for an MA15, it gave me the message, okay, I was too young to rent that movie, but when my age was an appropriate age, it said I could rent the movie. Okay, so I hope this program's giving you an understanding of the importance of operators. So we used logical operators in AND, which allowed us to put two conditions together, okay, in order to create a scenario. Okay, and an OR statement, which allowed me to put multiple conditions that if either occurred, a certain outcome would take place. And also relational operators, and in this case we use less than, but it includes less than, greater than, and equal to, which allowed us to put relationships between values, and in this case, if the relationship was if they were less than 18 or less than 15 in certain conditions, okay, they would not be allowed to use the movie. So I hope this program introduced you to operators and you can see the advantages of using them within your programs.